Yeah, there's a wiper issue. Can we not do things? Okay. Anywho. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, hard, awkward filming angle. 1979 Super Beetle. Yes, it's still a fuelie, and well, like most things with these fuelies, I try to save them. Backstory on this car from what I know from the owner. Ran and drove fine. I guess he washed the engine and then didn't run after. Well, I guess made it around the block, started spitting, sputtering, and then just conked out. So from that description, I'm gonna immediately go to see if we lost spark, because I haven't even looked at this car. I'm hoping it's just points and somehow we got everything wet. But with that said, I'm a battery charger on this thing because it's dead. And by dead, I mean I had to jump it to make it even get a charge, to do whatever. So I got a brand new battery I'm gonna shove in this thing. Let me shove a battery in this thing real quick and we'll go to the back and see what's going on. Because I'm hoping this is gonna be a quick in and out due to the fact that we still have if you've been following this channel, we still have the Type 3 fastback here. This is currently where I need the fastback to live. Well, to get it on the lift again, because time or space constraint. Because someone had to buy a stupid banana. Anywho's, let me get a battery in this thing and join me in the back. Hopefully it's a quick diagnosis. Also, something with the fuel gauge, always reading full. I'm hoping a wire just came disconnected, because if they're reading full, typically that just means they're grounded out and, well, the ohms are full. I'll walk you through that when we get there. First, like I said, let me get a battery in and join me in the back. Hopefully let's get this thing running. All right, guys, first thing I'm gonna do is easiest first, keys on. I'm gonna see if we have spark coming out of these points. Pull that. Hardly any. If I arc the screwdriver between them, I do, but there's barely any arcing. So someone's had this pulley off before. All right, let me get some sandpaper, clean up these points, and turn it and see if it just fires up. If that's the case, this is a really quick video. I got my spark plug to test for spark later if I need to. Pull that off. Actually, because it won't fire, let me see if I can. Oh, there's a faint spark. I'll tell you this much, this gap is huge. On this. All right. The gap's huge. The actual focus rotor button, a little worn, tarnished, and then the inside of the cap doesn't look bad. It does have some carbon buildup and stuff, but let me scrape this, clean this up, and see what happens. Because it was just simple as, like I said, the engine got washed. So I'm thinking something, well, electrical got wet. Usually point systems, if you manage to get water inside the distributor, just heat, condensation, what have you. Oil looks fine. That most likely is where I'll lean towards initially. Has tape on it. I know he said he had another one of those, but all right, what did I say I was gonna do? Let me clean up these points and see if this thing fires. If it fires, we're gonna switch to electronic and call it a day. Plan. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Got sandpaper, also a feeler gauge. Ooh, don't hit me in the head. So I can mildly see what the hell I'm doing. I think where I had it was fine, but I had to screw with it. Doctor. All right, let me get these points. I didn't go anywhere. Wrench. Get the points to fully open on the cam, which is about there. 16 thou. Yeah, we're not that big, but we're big. Loosen the set screw. We'll just walk this in a bit. Not much. It looks about 16. Tighten that down. I think I might have went a little too far. Like I said, I'm changing this to I'm going to change it to electronic anyway. She is close. Hit a fire under this. Get my sandpaper, fold it over. Get it off a cam. Just so I can get this in here. Like I said, these points look pretty worn. I don't know if they've ever been serviced. Good news is, I was tight, now I'm going to be loose. Which is exactly how you precisionally adjust your points. Especially if you're cleaning them. This is just 400 grip. Nothing fancy. But yeah. First, you can probably tell on the point side, the actual swing side, pretty dirty. Second cleaning. I know it's not zooming or focusing. Second cleaning, cleaner. Now I'm not going crazy. Just enough to, well, clean it. Let me kick on the ignition again. Flick it. Still weak. It's still transferring a weak spark. But with that said, before I dive any more into doing this, I'll put a new rotor button on later. Just doing this for, again, diagnostic I don't like throwing a bunch of parts at something if I don't know if it's going to stick. All right, clean up the button. Put this cap on, even though it'll come back off, just because. That. Put that on. These spark plug wires are going to have to get changed. I can tell you right now, this one's cut. What is it, number 1? Yeah, cylinder 1 has a nice slice in it. Let's see. Let me undo, pull this down, because I don't have my timing light. Man, that is stuck on there. We were pointing over to 2, right? Yeah. All right, never mind. We'll pull 2 out. Put my little plug on here. We'll test for spark out of the coil. See, I heard it pop, but it's not doing nothing. Yeah, I should have something. No spark. Kind of what I was assuming. So let me try to get this down. We'll plug this guy into here. Or try to. And then what I'll do is I'm going to try to, now it doesn't matter what cylinder I'm on. I have a spark tester plugged directly into the coil. So what I'm going to do is try basically to trigger spark just from there. Key on. Very, very faint spark. Also doesn't help that my gap is super tight. It's super weak. That's hotter. All right, I think we're fighting a points issue or a condenser issue. Mainly a points issue. All right, let me turn off this ignition. All right. So an electronic ignition. I'm mildly confident, well, I know we're not getting good spark out of the coil. So I'm gonna strip this thing down and put it in an electronic. Yeah, strip this down, put in an electronic ignition, and hopefully we'll have it running. Because yeah, I'm not getting anything that I like as far as spark goes. For right now, I'm just going to get the condenser out of the way, so I don't have to deal with that screw. Actually, I'll do it the other way. I'll deal with the screw because I'm confident. Yeah, get the condenser off. Yeah, weak spark, you got two options. Like I said, the coil's doing coil things to a certain extent. If anything, I could put another coil on. That's not a big deal. Also, if you take off your condenser, make sure you put the screw back in if you have a vacuum can. Otherwise, your vacuum can's going to do whatever it wants to do. Ask me how I know that. I just need you to get... I just need you to loosen. You actually don't even have to go back in. You just need to get the heck out. There we go. All right. Spin that roughly where it was. Condenser's out of the way. Plugs, points, wires, what have you, and whatnots. Over there. What kind of plug wires do you have? Normal style. I think I have those. Last set. My big thing is if you ever run electronics, or at least the electronic ignitions I have, and you have spark leak, a lot of the time, if it starts to arc close to the distributor, at least on the ignitions that I run, you have a good chance that you're going to fry your ignition. I've done it just testing spark before. Pull that out for now. Yeah. I'll show you what we have going on in a second. Ah, jeez. The only thing I don't like about fuelies is there's so much stuff in here. All right, that was apparently one. All right. Okay. Pull two out. Pull two out. Come on. I really don't want to take off this whole box. And this one should be cylinder one. Okay. Ah, there's the notch. I didn't know if this was after he marked it, but I got the notch for one. We'll pull it. All right, airbox off. Looks like it has a nice fresh filter. Ow. And spark plug wire. So much stuff in these fuelies. What is that down there? They don't give you really good options to run this way because of the manifold box. They're honestly just all terrible. Hey, let me run these wires. I'll be back. I'm back. Number one plug wire is ran. Well, I had to pull out this vacuum tube. Gently try to finagle it back in. I think this one goes to the fuel pressure regulator. I think. Where the heck is it? There it is. Yeah, I had to pull that out to give myself some access, but all right, that's on. That's gonna be 2. I'm just gonna leave 2 out right now. All right, now what I started doing, electronic ignition. Just remember, the floor is just a really big shelf. Put that guy down. All right. Finagle that a bit. Get that to drop. Get that to drop. Put the Allen retainer in. Tighten this down. Boop. Throw the wires out. Just rotate that so I can see. You've seen me throw in electronics many times in more detail. Or pickup. Put that on. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit ornery. Ornery? Pain in the butt. The reason I say that is, I don't know why, but this, the distributor, rotor button seems to be sitting a little lower. It doesn't have like the fine gap that I'd like it to have. Basically, I'm trying to keep this disc away from the wires, so that doesn't turn into a saw blade and cut them. All right, electronic on. Power goes to power, or red key on. This is like a different distributor. Black to your negative. Let me grab my DV1. I want to double check that this is a 3 ohm coil. Negative to positive. 2.9. Perfect. We shouldn't fry this. Keyword, shouldn't. That vacuum line on. Cap. Dust boot guy. We have it. We'll put it on. Rotor. Cap. And this one was number 1. We'll put that guy on. All right, 4. Put that vacuum back in. I'll pull the cap off for right now. Put my spark tester back in its hole. Yeah, the cap looks good. I don't know if I'm going to replace it. But before we weren't getting a good spark. I know one's going to be around here somewhere. That back corner. So let's turn this on and see what happens. All right, key on. Do we get good spark? Yes. That is a decent spark coming out of there. Perfect. Unplug that. Plug that thing back in. Get our coil wire. Ugh. I just wanted to put a little dielectric in here because they don't give you a, at least this set doesn't really come with a coil. Whoop. A coil wire. It's the same end as like the boot on here, so you just need to kind of help it into place. There we go. Yeah, it's like they forget that the coil's bigger. The output prong. All right, that's in. So let's see, we're still on one. He is on. Get my spark tester again. Make sure we're transmitting power out. Like I said, I know it was rotating, or it was firing. Yep, nice hot spark. So if I have everything pretty much connected where it needs to be, distributor will tune in. Let's twist this thing and see if it fires. Let's do that a little bit. All right, nothing yet. Let me find my timing light, put this thing on TDC, or not timing light, test light, which I can never freaking find. Make sure that this thing's TDC'd, and we'll see what happens from there. Right there. It's making a pop. I'm at the notch, so that should be 7.5-ish. Should be static enough to hopefully fire up. She'll go. Do we have fuel? Give her just a little more. There it is. I'm gonna have to put points back in it. It doesn't like this combination. But it's running. Give me a second, I'll be back. All right guys, just ground some off of the rotor button. Just so it can sit, you know, flush her down. Like I said, I am using the 009 style spacer ring under this thing. And that's for, all right, let's just twist it off. That's to get it, basically space it off of the electronics so that the pickup wheel doesn't actually cut it. Are you dancing? No. Timing light on this thing. She's idling down. It was on its warm idle startup. Let me get this buttoned up and get a timing light on this. a vacuum leak? Sounds like the fan. All right, guys, got my auxiliary, whatever, backup battery here, so I can run my timing light. I don't feel like pulling off of the electronics of this thing just because, well, I don't want to short anything out. Fuelies still make me a little nervous. All right, let's see what we got. Someone with the genset's not happy. I can feel the vibration. Yeah, I can feel the vibration in the genset. Not to mention it's super freaking warm. We have a problem with the gen. Sure freaking do. This belt is, well, there's no deflection in it. For as tight as it is, oh wow. The pulley spun. I don't know if you can see the keyway, but yeah, I think it's doing a truffle shuffle in there. That should be aligned. I don't think I have another pulley. So that's a thing. The new thing is trying to get this damn thing off. Because yeah, that is incorrect by a lot. Right? That seems like an idea. There we go. There are some shims in there, but yeah, that is wallered out. Bad. Well, I guess, no, it does have all the shims in it. It's been doing this for a while. It is hula hooped like crazy. Let me see if I can get the pulley off. Don't mind the scratches, they're from me. Come on, you're almost there. There we go. Yeah, this pulley. All right, this pulley ate up this generator or alternator. It should not have the self-clearancing that are pretty much all the way through. So either the nose bearing feels fine. Somehow that this is a sleeve. It might be too far in, or it got mushroomed. I'm not 100% sure, but well, I'm 100% sure and I know it's not right. So what I'll do, I'm gonna double check. I might have a pulley for this. If I do, I'll slap it on and see what happens. Because if it grabs, we have problems and this is gonna have to be changed out. If I have another alternator, I might be able just to rob the nose off of this thing or off of them and go swap them. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, here's what I got. Got some washers reamed out because I do not want to change this to sit on the spacer that's already in there that's kind of eating itself. I think what happened was this belt is the wrong size. Actually, I can tell you this belt is the wrong size and caused all of this, which sucks, but it is what it is. I get to play with these fun little clips. So unplug the sensor. There we go. Yeah, don't lose those clips. But yeah, I'm gonna go get a new belt. I gotta change that battery. But yeah, now I have, when I robbed an alternator off of one of my spare engines, But what I'm gonna do is right now, this guy is sitting not as deep in there. We're gonna take these washers, like I said, they're reamed out. I'm just gonna space it out so it doesn't hit, and one seems to do it. Or, you know, come close to hitting. Because honestly, I don't think anybody wants to spend money to replace the alternator on a fuel injection unit, because it is a lot of work to get this damn thing out. I was even thinking, I was like, oh, I'll just change the nose cone or this front half, because I did find a spare alternator. Except that's not going to go easy either. It's a different style. And someone did change this out to a one wire. That's not in. Someone did change this out to a single wire instead of, they should have like the 3 things in the back. It is a Bosch unit. But like I said, if I don't have to get in here and clean this out or fight with it, and I can just get a pulley back on and everybody or everything and everybody happy, I'm gonna do it. You can tell this Woodruff key slot, damn it, is pretty beat up as well. It looks like it cammed over. But if I find its home, it should hopefully cooperate. Keep that Woodruff from sliding. So I have to be pert near dead on when I put this thing on. I am recording, right? Yeah. That battery's gonna die. That's close. Let me see if I can tap it back and set it. 3/8 drive hammer. That's on. What's that look like? We're in the slot. It does have some movement in it, but the Woodruff is in there, so I'm not too concerned. And we're not touching the generator. Once I tighten all this, it should be fine. I think what happened was it got loose and started just wreaking havoc. But let me go, run out, grab the correct belt for this, and get this thing all buttoned up. But yeah, like I said, it's just a spare one I had. And like I said, it did have shims in it. So I don't know how it had to have been loose. How many do we got? We only got 4 shims. I got spares. You should have 8. And yeah, I was gonna try to change out this collet to bring it out some instead of doing the spacer washer. Except, well, yeah, that didn't work due to the fact that I can't get the old one out. But it's in there and it's not hitting. So, like I said, I'm trying not to change an alternator if I don't have to, because it's working. But let me get the correct belt, we'll fire it up, and hopefully this thing will be quiet. Because, well, it sounds quieter. I'll be back. All right, guys, not test driving yet, but because I was gonna put fuel in this thing anyway, because I don't trust the reading of the fuel gauge, I did, you know, I'm happy I didn't actually. I broke out my borescope. So, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but I wanted to, yeah, good enough. I wanted to be able to, you know, see what was going on with these floats. Because, hold on, this is gonna be really zoom. Because in my experience with fighting these things is if you replace the floats, which that looks like a new unit, and you get the ones that are like super long, getting them into the tank is sometimes a pain in the butt. You get the ones with the little balls on it, like factory looking, they go in easy so much easier, and they actually work. So I just wanted to probe this to see kind of what's going on in there, because it looked like it might be the long style. It is. But what is going on is, like I said, I doubt you'll be able to see, but I'll try my best to get you on here. I already probed it. And I'll try to zoom in more when I edit this. But let's see. Oh, did this just die? Nope, there we go, little glitch. All right, going into the tank. All right. Obviously, we're not a full tank. That's one float. Super Beetles have 2 floats. So that one's doing its thing. It's not touching, so that's basically if you're full one. Your second float, if I can get around again, is, I gotta bend this a little more. Trying to work around baffles. Your second float is right there. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's hung up. It's supposed to be below, that float's supposed to be below that wire. So that would be reading the last part of your tank. So whoever installed this got this crossed, and well, that float's not currently floating correctly. This barrel, or this whole float section, is supposed to be on this side of the wire. You can see it's, whenever they put it in, it got twisted, and now it's riding on top of the float. Hence why it's always showing full, because we are basically bone dry in here. And I'm wondering if that has to do with a lot of the starting issues. Out. So what I'm going to do now, seeing how I know the float's just kind of jacked up and there's no gas in it, I'm going to pull the tank up and try to get the float to float. Hopefully shouldn't be that hard. I hopefully can get it up just high enough where I can flick it around, because yeah, the short arm is what reads the bottom half, and then the top arm reads. To me, a stupid system, but it is what it is. Let me see if I can get that to work. If that doesn't work, I'll just basically order in the ball style, and we'll exchange the float. I've always had bad luck out of these things trying to get them to work the long float style. So give me a minute. Let me get my battery, get all that stuff cleaned up like I said I was going to do, and we'll pull the tank back. I'm hoping there's a surface-ish loop in here to where I can actually operate or move the tank enough without screwing up fuel lines. I'll be back. All right, things escalated. I at least have enough room to get this thing up and out some to where I can get to that ring. I just gotta get that ring off. Without really messing up too much stuff. Clamp that. Hammer. Let's knock this loose. Like so. All right. Yeah, this whole center's bent to hell. See how they're both locked up? One needs to come down. This one is stuck. There's another issue. Yeah, this whole thing's broken. Somebody was not nice to this thing putting it in. I mean, you can see it's all bent to hell. All right. It sort of moves freely. Yeah, that whole locking cap is screwed up too. We'll order a new one. All right, this guy's sort of moving. It's not gonna read right, but it's gonna hopefully read. So let me get this thing back installed and see what we're at, because, well, this is now a short throw. And because if you saw in there, the baffles is what's limiting this thing to being able to actually do like a full sweep travel. But it will read full, and it will, whatever on this thing will read empty. All right, let me get this installed and I'll be right back. All right, guys, tank's dropped. Fuel gauge reads a little under a quarter. Or, yeah, a little under a quarter. About a quarter, little over a quarter. Anywho, try this again. And I'll get you in there. Zoom! I don't know if you'll be able to see, but that float now is resting on the bottom of the tank, that tank ledge. So it's actually all the way down and reading something. So without that secondary, quarter of a tank is empty. Or a little over a quarter of a tank is empty. Let me get this all connected, put 5 gallons in, which should raise it to past that lip, that lump, what have you, zoom out, and see if it starts reading. Because, yeah, I'm going to order a new float. We'll get it back in and do whatever. But yeah, quarter of a tank, basically over a quarter of a tank is empty now. Because that other arm thing. As long as that stays constant, we're good. If it moves, we're good. I'm more happy than driving around with an empty tank. Let me button this up and I'll be back. All right, guys, there's 5 gallons in. I also put a little bit of Marvel just to, well, lubricate the system. Might have a sticking injector or something like that. It'll help flush anything out. The gauge is reading full. I don't know, it moves. I know that if it goes to E, E's a quarter of a tank, so it does have a little bit of a deflection to it. With that said, I am obviously going to order a new gauge or new floats for this thing. It'll come back and get it done. It's not dire, but also what we learned, very, very valuable lesson. My DVM, my voltmeter has an issue because I can make it do what I was hoping to see it do, and it wasn't doing anything because obviously the floats were locked up. I got this thing idling right now just to circulate fluid and stuff like that, or fuel and stuff. And looks like my camera has that starry vision. I gotta clean my lens. Astigmatism, that's what I was going with. But yeah, I'm just gonna let this thing warm up, turn it around, probably do a test drive in the morning, maybe now, not sure. Because I really want to do it on a cold start. I don't see any other issues with this thing. It runs good, it's idling good. We'll find out though. Owner's coming to get it tomorrow, so you know, nothing like waiting. Plus I gotta let my GoPro chart. No, my GoPro has extra back. It might go now, not sure. Gotta check with the wife, see what we're doing. because I'm not really supposed to be doing stuff today. Stay tuned to the next scene. All right, guys, let's see what happens. I don't even know if that came through. All right, we're under full right now, so that's good. It's not reading full out. See what the thing drives like. I can't see nothing. Also, the owner is super short. So this is a very rare instance that I actually had to move a seat. What's up? It needs a bearing. This thing will probably, this will come back for more stuff. Gas pedal's super stiff. Yeah, the bearing up here is toast. Clutch feels all right. More concerned about the gas pedal being so stiff. Might lube the pedal, but let's get on the road and see what this does. A lot of wind noise. But with that said, I don't know what shush. I don't know what noises you were making. Is that? I got like relays clicking for some odd reason. Oh, there's a blinker. Doesn't indicate on the dash. But yeah, this is hitting the roof. It's not actually sliding in. So that's good. I think I have heat. I don't know. Lever's levering. Oh yeah, my blinker's blinking. But it's idling good. The only thing I don't like right now is the stiff gas pedal. I'm used to just, gas pedaling, lack of better terms. But it's idling good. It took off fine. Quite a few gear changes I did. Gear changed. Nice blinker. Hey, it cancels. It's pulling. Doesn't feel like a dog. I don't know whatever the hell that noise is. It's good. Really quiet in here. Has a MP shifter, which is nice. Takes off fine, shifting good. The limited gears that I can use because I keep hitting every freaking stoplight. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to send to Germans with your Morse code. Like I said, fuel gauge reads a little under full. We know the reason with that. I'm going to order a new float. It's going to come in, or this car will probably come back. But the steering column bearing being shot, I think I might have a new one. No, I don't. I used it on the other fuelie. But this needs to be addressed. That's really not good. And I can only imagine the horn doesn't work because it got disconnected. Because when that bearing went out, it started grounding out. Oh, now the blinker in the dash is working. It's coming around. Clock's working. Nice Oldsmobile. Looks like a 72 next to me. If you didn't know, I do like Oldsmobiles. Yeah, I'm just rambling also, just due to the fact that, well, it's working. Yeah, it's idling good. I did lower the idle just a little bit before I left. It seemed like it was way too high. Also, I adjusted the throttle pedal, the cable back because it was way too tight. It wasn't letting it return full to idle. So I don't know if that was the reason of a cold start issue, just due to the fact that the, say, TPS was reading that it was open. I don't know, I'm speculating. You really got to come up with a lot of material when you're sitting at a light, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Also, you look crazy when you're talking to yourself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 72. He's deciding to turn now. Yeah, it's hard to modulate this gas pedal. Second helps better than fourth. Did I leave in third? I don't know. Third gear works. It drives good. I do think the owner said we're going to head back to the shop because we're doing fine. I'm pretty sure the owner did say he wants to lower this thing. So if that's the case, I'm pretty sure he said. I'm pretty sure that's this guy. If that's the case, this will definitely be coming back. NASCAR. To get that done, and then we can address all the other little odds and ends. But yeah, second gear pulls fine. The brakes feel good too. I did notice the reservoir is a little low. I'll put some in when I was sticking around under there. But with that said, it's it's good. I don't know how else to put that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this car is going to come back to get lowered. We'll address the tank at that point if it is this car. We'll address the tank. Probably some little odds and ends, because usually what happens is when owners get to drive their cars again, they start realizing, well, and having a mechanic, they start wanting more stuff to get done rather than just run and drive. Hence why I have like a repeat on the channel of cars that have are getting other work done, just because now they have a place to do it or can get it done. So I mean, if you only had a guy that can only make these things run, I guess is what I'm getting at, they'd only run. But if you want to do other stuff, you now have that viable option. So join back in the shop. I'm just rambling at this point. All right, back in the shop. Quick test drive. Wasn't anything major, more or less just idle sitting and making sure it, well, runs. Like I said, it has a stiff gas pedal. Revs up fine, does what it needs fine. Fuel gauge is reading full again. I don't know. Like I said, I think it might be coming back. I gotta confirm with the owner. But I think it might be coming back for get lowered and other things done. It doesn't drive bad at all. Oh, that's what I think I've been hearing, is the wipers. They move extremely slow. I don't know if you're in frame. Yeah, something's going on with the switch. Stop moving. Just don't do things. But, yeah, all right. Shut down, fine. Hot fire. And there goes the wipers. Hot fire. There you go. That's a little, my finger slipped off the key. Fire's up fine. Yeah, there's a wiper issue. I mean, can we not do things? Okay. Anywho, join me on a big cam. Like, close this out. I'm gonna do a quick walk around, talk to the owner, so on and so forth. But yeah, as of right now, I think we're pretty dialed for this visit. Still needs a couple odds and ends to be done, but the main thing was check out the fuel gauge. We know the issue with that. And, well, mainly, get this thing running. So, it runs, it drives, we should be good to go. I'm just in here because it's actually toasty, or a little warm. I think the heat does work. Join me on the big cam. All right, guys, because bad, timing and management and everything on my hand, owner's on his way to pick up the car, and now I'm doing the outro. So that makes perfect sense. Anywho's, car's done. A couple things still need to be addressed. It does need an actual float put into it, and steering column shaft is a little, well, it needs a bearing because it's clunky. Runs though, cold start. I did try to light it off. Took about 2 attempts, just cranking a bit. Don't pump it or anything like that, but it did fire up. It's cold. I don't know if the cold start injector is working or anything like that, so not sure. But anyway, everything's good. He's gonna pick it up. Like I said, if it is the car I'm thinking of that is gonna get lowered, we'll adjust the float anyway, so not a big deal. Or like I said, if he just wants to bring it back for a quick service, we'll put a new float in, because he basically told me to check it out, fix it if I could. It wasn't like, hey, as far as I know, it wasn't like, hey, get this thing fixed. So quick in and out service. With that said, well, I already said this, capping this episode. Quick points change, car's back on the road. Well, and the generator or alternator, that was terrible for a while, and now it runs good. Hopefully he notices the sound difference, because it was dramatic. Correct belt, good pulley, and a spacer now, because something was way out of whack. Like I said, I think they put on that wrong belt, cinched it down, and it basically it screwed it up. Plus it was missing shims. So, I don't know, I'm rambling. I'm under pressure. Dun. Anyway, gonna cap this episode. If you like whatever this rambling ended up to be, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you do. I promise you we will chit chat as always. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, see you on the next one. I'm also cold as heck. Get this door shut. Hopefully they show up. Thanks, guys.